Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I am Abe with MysticGenMara.com, a small town mystic from the middle of Idaho. And tonight, whenever you happen to be seeing this, I would like to offer the elemental reading for the year of 2026 for the element of Earth. Earth covers the zodiac signs of Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. If you are Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, then this message is for you. Or if you have Earth high up in your charts, again, this is something you can check out and see kind of what's going on. So when we look at these year-long readings, the ones like I do them anyway, we're not looking at specific predictions. We're looking at theme energy that's coming in. And each quarter, we will look at a guide or a guardian. This time we're using the Crystal Mandala Oracle, so you have an idea of what crystal you can work with for that 3-month period, and then what Ascended Master you can, if you're into working with Ascended Masters, what one you're going to work with. Then we look at each month through the tarot, and we're going to be using the Tarot of Dragons and the Angel Tarot, and it's whatever source brings forward as to what I'm going to pull for each one. And then we get a little more clarity for each month, kind of a way to give us a window into something we can work on, maybe some energy that's coming in. It's just a little different way of observing the year ahead. So if you are interested in that, then hang out and check out this video. So if you're new here, hit that subscribe button, drop a like on the video, and comment. Let me know your thoughts, feelings, and impressions. One more thing before we get too far into this. I read intuitively, so the energy that comes in may be a little different than what the traditional meanings of the cards are, and that's totally cool. That's just how I read. If you see something different with the cards, or you get a different intuitive burst, feel free to comment down below and let me know what your thoughts are on that, because it's always interesting to hear what other people's theories are or intuitive guidance is, because the tarot is here to help us grow. So with that, your first quarter guide or guardian, which is January, February, and March, is the Angel Lahabiel, and your stone is black tourmaline. Black tourmaline is a very powerful stone, Earth, so this could be an interesting start to your year. The title of the card is Purification. You courageously choose to let go. You embrace healing and renewal. You release and surrender with perfect trust. You are cleansed through a powerful outpouring of spiritual grace. Spaciousness now opens within you, beneath you, behind you, and before you. Within this clean and clear space, that which is outmoded is absorbed and reborn in an unlimited potential for manifesting new sacredness. Now is a time of potential and grace, which you amplify and activate through the relaxation and release exercises. You are blessed with the spiritual cleansing and divine protection to begin again. So, Earth, your first quarter energy here, I have got an orgone that's trying to escape. Your first quarter energy is very, very, very much about you clearing space, because you already have learned these lessons. This is no longer, I have to carry it around because I might need it. This first quarter is saying, now you realize you don't need it anymore, so now it's time to work out and clear some of that up. And black tourmaline is a very strong grounding stone, which aligns perfectly with Earth. So your first quarter is definitely going to be from just this perspective, overall view here, is going to be a lot of cleansing and clearing energies. So that's a very good thing to start with. Your January is 10 of water, a contented and rewarding family life. Your emotional and material needs are met. Trustworthy relationships. So, Earth, you're starting off really good, honestly. You're starting off with a lot of joy, a lot of peace. Whatever's going on in your home life this first month of the year is actually really healthy. You've achieved what a lot of people would love to have, which is that emotional peace. It's not so much about, oh, I've got all these things. It's more, I'm okay with how things are. I don't need to go hunting more. I don't need to go digging around to discover what's the next best thing, because you have the best thing. You don't need all their extras. So this first part of the year is really tapping into that tourmaline energy as well, saying, it's basically saying, they just keep saying the word gratitude, my guides do. So finding the gratitude and the joy with all of the energy that you've tapped into here. And that's a really powerful message. And with water coming in as well, the 10 of water is a completed cycle. It's a completed emotional lesson. So you've already, 2025 is when you kind of purge some things, is what I'm hearing. So 2026 is starting off with, you know what, you survived, you did a good job. Enjoy what you have earned this far in the year. To clarify that, we have the sacred inner space, which is your sacral chakra, tenderness, and sensuality. This is really tapping into this energy of the family and the connection with your spouse, primarily your spouse. There is they keep saying enjoy the presence of each other, whether that's in bedroom activities, whether that's in just cooking together, curling up on the couch and watching a movie together, reading a book. Spend time with the person that you fell in love with. Remember what that means. That's the sacral chakra energy coming in. But the tourmaline aspect of this first quarter ties into this as well. You have created and are creating a beautiful space for your spirituality, for your spiritual growth, whether that is within a coven or a lodge, or if it's in a church or tabernacle. You are in the position to really embrace that. With the sacral chakra, you're also realizing that your connection to others is very strong right now, and it's a feedback of the positivity you bring out is what's going to be returned to you. So January is really looking good for our Earth family here. Your February card is number 3, the Empress, with Archangel Gabriel, divine feminine energy, a little bit more water coming in. Lavish abundance, giving birth to your dreams, nurture yourself and others. When we have the energy of the Empress, this is the divine feminine. You can look at it as Mother Mary, you can look at it as one of the goddesses, or you can just say the divine mother. But this energy is about supportive success. And so February, other people have shown you their support and helped you grow and helped you achieve, and now you get to return the favor for the next generation. And in this card, it's not really too super visible, but she's holding a baby, and that's showing this guiding principle where you're tapping into your teacher protector mode. And this is where you get into the mama bear energy as well, because the Empress is not weak. Yes, she is a supportive energy, but by no means do you think that that is a weak energy. She can step up with the best of them. And that's what this is saying, is you're here to help guide the next generation. You're going to probably do a little bit more gently than having to step up. But if you have to, the universe is saying you got this. You don't have to worry about what other people are going to say or do, because if you have to, it's probably because there's something coming in to protect, that you need to protect what you're training. So be aware the Empress is about good luck, fertility, prosperity, and abundance, but there's also this aspect of protection and teaching. So you've got a really busy February for such a short little month. Your clarifier is the Sword of Light, divine protection, cords cut and break through energy. So with the Empress being good luck, it's also reminding you that if you still have some of those things lingering from the past that need to be removed, this is where you can work with Archangel Michael and call in that Sword of Light and really start to clean the rest of it out. Black Tourmaline is saying, let's ground this energy, let's make some sacred space, let's open things up to bring in the divine, and now you're getting the opportunity. And the goddess energy that's coming in with the Empress is just basically saying, hey, this is where we're at. Let's move that out. Let's take this wall down. Let's move this around a little bit. And that's where that Sword of Light can really help clarify and reveal the things that you kind of need to see. So February is going to be a lot more about revelations and opening the proper doorways as you go forward here. March is going to be the wrap-up of this first quarter. It's also the month of spring of Ostara, so you've got a lot of fertility rites going on here. And you also have the Four of Cups tying into the water. The Four of Cups is an interesting card. Sometimes it comes across a little bit like a contrarian. With this one, it's almost like, don't get wrapped up in comparing yourself to others. This is where you're at. You've got a lot of abundance. You've got emotional stability. You've got all this emotional maturity that you have achieved. And there's this energy of, well, it's just not enough yet. But this energy that's coming in right now is saying it is enough. And that's where Earth, you can really focus on and redirect any negative energy to look how much you've achieved. Look at how far you've come. This is showing to me that there is an energy of growth potential here, but it's also that tap on the shoulder, like, don't compare yourself to other people. That is completely not going to work out well. And you have the one dragon that's trying to offer you more, because you're still in that energy of supporting each other. And this is where, even if it's a little support, it's always great to show gratitude for that. And that's this energy that's coming in for our Earth family, is don't get distracted by comparing yourself to others. Well, I'm just not quite as mature as that person. Do you know that person intimately? Like, what do they think? What do they say? Because I can almost guarantee you that they're looking at you going, man, I wish I had what Earth had, because look at how far they're ahead. So comparing yourself doesn't always work out so well. Your message, or your oracle card, is the Karmic Board Clearing. Energetic clearing, rewriting your story, and living your truth. This is where we have to understand what these two cards are talking about. This card is saying, don't compare yourself to others. You've got your own stuff going on. Show gratitude for the things you do get and share them in the proper time. The Karmic Board Clearing is saying, you've already done a lot of this work. Now it's time to finish things up. This first quarter is about making space. You're tapping into that spiritual expansion. And the Karmic Board Clearing is now saying, you've done the cord cutting. Now it's time to fully release and heal. And when these two cards are showing up together, is what I'm hearing, this is the time to remember how far you've actually come. And don't worry about the other people. They're on their own spiritual journey, and they will figure it out in their own time. Your mission in this journey of life is to deal with your stuff, not theirs. So definitely want to keep that as the forefront. Is if you get that distraction, especially in March, where you're like, man, I wish I was further ahead than I am. Okay, how are you going to get there? And don't compare yourself to the Joneses down the street, because that's not going to help you at all. Your second quarter, which is going to be April, May, and June, is the angel Isda, and the stone is carnelian. Whereas the first quarter was very much earth and water, I feel like this one's going to bring in a lot of fire, because that's the stone we're starting with. And with carnelian and angel Isda, we have the card titled Nourishment. Growth requires nourishment. As you grow, you gain well-being and strength, becoming a more radiant light on this planet for the spiritual benefit of all beings. You recognize that in giving to yourself, you are ultimately giving to others. You embrace your power of choice to nourish yourself with that which truly feeds and empowers your body, mind, and soul. You explore your own way to be healthy. You trust in your abilities to nurture yourself and others. So the second quarter is about, I'm feeling very strongly, this is tapping into a physical health aspect, but also with what you have learned, with the knowledge you have gained, Earth, how are you going to share that with others? You have achieved a great deal spiritually. You've grown, and it doesn't matter if it's this much or this much. You've grown and you've shifted, and people may notice that. And if they do, are you willing to share the knowledge and talents and skills that you have? Whether it's a Reiki healer, whether it's knowledge of some kind of new diet plan you're working with, if it's a nutritionist that you want to talk about, whatever it is, are you ready and willing to talk about that? And if you're not, that's fine. But this energy that's coming in right now is really giving you the opportunity to step into the limelight, so to speak, to really tap into bringing that information forward for other people to use as well. No one lives in a vacuum, Earth, and that's what this is talking about, is sharing the knowledge that you've earned this with others when you're comfortable and ready. It doesn't mean you have to go out and start a street preacher job. I mean, you can if you want to, but that doesn't sound fun to me. So let's take a look at the breakdown here. We're in April. Interesting. This is your contrarian energy because we are in the sword category, which is air. So the 10 of Swords starts off. Interesting, you start off with 10 last quarter as well. And the 10 of Swords is bringing forward an energy of a battle won, something that you've conquered, something that you've overcome. Whatever it was in that first quarter, and it could be just the fact that you were able to make the space for your relationships, for your spirituality, and for that clearing out of the things that were no longer needed. The 10 of Swords in this aspect is saying, now it's time to kind of celebrate that you've overcome and that you survived, but don't forget that there's always a loss with certain types of overcoming, because you have to lose part of your old self. You may have to allow a section of who you used to be to, that's an odd phrase, allow it to pass away so that it's no longer a dominant energy within your existence, because April is going to be about a rebirth period, but sometimes to be reborn, you have to allow the old to pass away, is what I'm hearing. And with that, your clarifier is the Thoth or Toth. I still say Thoth, I don't know why, it's the way it's spelled. Light codes, light initiation, great teacher awakening, and divine magic. This is a carryover energy from March, because this is actually February. You're bringing in this teaching energy. The Thoth light codes tying in with the 10 of Swords are saying it's time to finish clearing this stuff up. It doesn't mean that you're going to fix it all today, but the process, the projects, the spiritual journey that you've been on up to this point is kind of wrapping itself up. You're coming to the conclusion. But what that means is now you get to open a new door. And with the energy and wisdom of Thoth coming in, or Toth, you know that you do not have to worry about the next steps. You're going to be divinely guided as you go through the month of April. And it may not seem like a voice from the heavens coming down to talk to you, but it could be that coworker who just randomly starts talking about something like Thelema, or this person that you're sitting next to church and they're talking about this different book that they've read that interprets the Gnostic Gospels in a different way, or whatever. It doesn't have to be big and bombastic. What catches your attention is usually how a lot of these guides, guardians, and divinity aspects will catch your attention is it's something minor. It'll say something random. You might even hear a conversation just walking through the grocery store and be like, wonder what that is. And you'll start to go down a rabbit hole. So as you wrap things up in April, because things are coming to a close, obviously, because there's a rebirth coming, be open to the new experience. And I'm hearing this is going to be an intellectual challenge, but also tied into spirituality. So you could have a very interesting month of April. Over to May. Now we're into your energy. We have the 6 of Earth, gifts of money, time, or effort, new career opportunities, told you you have a rebirth coming, and receiving a loan or paying off debts. This is where your prosperity starts to expand, and this is about physical prosperity. Your spiritual prosperity is it's already there because you've done the work, you've done the growth, you've put your time in, and there's new things opening up for you all the time. But this one, I'm hearing very strongly that May is going to be a prosperous month for you, whether it is financial prosperity like the card says, or if it's like getting your garden going, you're finding out that you're going to be a new parent because your spouse is pregnant or you're pregnant, whichever it is. But I have this energy that's coming in May of a very fertile, very prosperous, and May carries the month of Beltane, which ties directly into this kind of energy. So pay attention in May, because I feel like that's going to be a really powerfully strong month for you, Earth. You're going to have a lot of excitement. There's going to be a lot of dynamic movement going on, and it's all going to be heading towards this concept and belief of prosperity, abundance, and really setting yourself up for the future is what I'm hearing too. Your clarifier is the Temple of Truth gateway here. Throat chakra, authenticity, and self-expression. This could be that you're decided to start that art project, to write that great American novel, or whatever country you're in. But this is the energy of stepping into prosperity, being honest with yourself. Earth, a lot of us as humanity, we walk around in these meat suits. We have this insane urge to not tell the truth about who we are. why, I'm still kind of at a loss. I do it too. I'm not defending and I'm not condemning anybody, because I can point a finger at the mirror and see what happens. But there's this urge to hide from who we are, which in a lot of ways is going to limit what you can accomplish in life. When you're honest and truthful with yourself, really no door can be closed. You might have to get a bigger screwdriver to open said door, but you're going to be able to do it. It's just a matter of saying, yes, I have the confidence, I have the forethought, I have the belief that this is something that's available to me. So when we look at this, the Temple of Truth is a gateway. See, a gateway. And it also has your wings coming in, so you might be getting a little bit more hawk energy there, but there's this shifting of perspective, because it's time to reveal back to yourself who you are. This could be working with your higher self. This could be working with some shadow energy to maybe take off some of those blinders that we have as humans love to put on ourselves. But there's a revelations coming in May, and it's going to actually help activate or enhance the abundance you already feel and what you're achieving, and it's going to take it to a level. Earth, you're not going to recognize yourself in May as to who you were in January. That's the kind of dynamics we're looking at here. And again, it could be very physical, it could be very, very spiritual, but there's something's going to kick off in May for you that's definitely going to trigger this shift of awareness. So let's look at June. Not sure why I just lost the months, and you have number 21, the universe. So this is the end of the major arcana. This is in the traditional tarot, the world card. And with that energy, this is the completion of a cycle. You have walked from the energy of the Fool to the energy of the world. You have completed a journey of spiritual growth. They're also saying you may have actually graduated from a college, a university, a trade school in June as well. So you've completed something major. This isn't a minor completion I'm hearing. This is something big. This is something that you've been putting a lot of time and effort into during this month, which is ironic that the universe shows up in June when most graduations occur. But you've got this energy that you have accomplished this. This isn't because of somebody else. It's not my mom told me or my dad was going to pull my, trust fund away if I didn't. You did this for you. You did this for your future. So that ties into that May energy of setting yourself up for success with the Six of Pentacles or coins or Six of Earth. But the Universe card is saying now you understand why all of that setting up was so important, because you've completed a humongous project. And I'm not sure which one of you this is, but I'm definitely hearing that you just finished a trade school that people told you that you would never accomplish, that's going to be a worthless thing, and you're getting headhunted this month, so pay attention, whoever this is. But it's definitely this energy of you have overcome what other people said you couldn't do, and Earth, take a picture and send it to them. Be like, see what I did? Because it's really not their position to tell you what to do. They're just another human like you. You have to make the choices, and you did, and now you've succeeded. That's amazing for you. And with that, your clarifier here is the Akashic Stargate, aligned with purpose, proving them, crossroads, and no wrong path. When you put your heart and mind into something and you tie it to the energy of the universe, to the completed cycle, where are you going next? Notice how many doors there are. That's just a handful. The Akashic Stargate, when this type of energy comes in, it's saying you've completed something and the universe is opening every door for you. Where do you want to go next? Do you want to take the easy route and just take that next job and just start doing the thing? Do you want to go for something bigger? Do you want to go for something better? Personally, I would say get a little experience before you dive into the deep pool, but this is the spiritual journey you're on. You finished something bigger that people said you couldn't do, but you did. And the universe rewards hard work. A lot of people don't believe that. I do. And so your hard work is being rewarded with, what direction do you want to go next? What aspect of reality, what aspect of your life are you ready to take on? Is taking that project that you just finished, that you completed. Now look forward. How far do you want to take it? If it was a trade school, do you want to work as a journeyman or apprentice for a while and then step out on your own? Do you want to just go ahead and open your own business? Like I said, there's some things that you might want to learn before you get too far into that. But there's a lot of things you can work with here, and this is the energy of that second quarter, is really powerful, expansive growth, but also that willingness to teach the next level and next generation, which is beautiful for you, Earth. So let's hop into your third quarter energy, which is July, August, and September. And we have, I'm not sure how I feel about this. The guide, anyway, I've been doing a lot of side research, so this name is like, it's the Archon Barbello. Archons are not one of my positive things that I've been reading about lately, so that's why I'm like, you could use this however you feel, though. And the stone is Picture Jasper, which is a very beautiful stone, I will say that. And we have the energy of support. You choose to accept the reality that there is support for all levels of your being. You lean into the loving embrace of the universe so that you can experience complete and ultimate spiritual fulfillment in such a way that all beings may gain spiritual benefit from it. As you trust in this divine support, your courage and boldness increase. You choose to live with unconditional trust and confidence in divine grace. This is a very strong energy for this third quarter, Earth. This is saying, look at how far you've come, first of all. That's always important. But now you get to see how the universe has supported you and is still supporting you. And when I say universe, God, source, divine, however you see that aspect of divinity, and that's what's coming up. So this third, what's going on down here? This third quarter energy for you is really going to be about trusting the process, trusting in the divine, and trusting in your inner guidance. This year, the first quarter was more inner work. The second quarter I felt was much more outside stuff where you're being more projective. And the third one is now trying to merge the two together is what I'm getting here. So let's see how this plays out with the tarot. Your July energy, which is ironic, is the Queen of Fire. Of course it's going to be hot. Confident, warm, intelligent, and graceful. Stretch your wings and fly. Don't underestimate yourself, and assert your independence and creativity. So Earth, this is really about you stepping into that next level. In June, you ended by a great achievement, a great accomplishment. You overcome some things that people thought you couldn't, and now you get to step out into the world with the Queen of Fire and embrace the passion. If your dream in life is to be the best plumber in your state, this is where you get to really push for that. If you're the person who is like the trade school stuff, we're getting into to be an electrician, and you want to eventually become a lineman, this is the energy you're going into. You are stepping out in confidence, boldly. Again, you have that supportive energy with the Queen because she is powerful in her own right, but she's also here to support you and show you what you can do next, because she's already been there. She's already done that. She's the Queen. She's handled her stuff, and now she's here to help you handle yours. So this is a very strong message to don't cower, don't shy back. You've completed the project, but you're not done yet. You're now ready to step into the next level. Completion equals a new beginning, and the Queen is coming in to say, you're not sitting still, we've got things to do. That's an interesting card to come after that. Your clarifier is the Crown Chakra Upgrade, divine connections, holy experiences, and miraculous energies. And there is, you can't really see them, but there's some Hebrew lettering on the front of the bird. With this one, we're talking about this crown energy, this little dot right up here on top of your head. And when you have the Queen coming in with her passion and drive, and it's saying activate your crown chakra, elevate it to the next level, this is where you really are bringing that intuitive guidance and drawing into who you are. Your guides and your guardians in July are definitely going to be making some noise. You're definitely going to be noticing your dreams may be more intense. You might be feeling those divine urges to go talk to that person, or go check out that lecture, or pick up that book, whatever it is. You're going to do a few things or be inspired to do things this month that you might not normally have done. And with that crown chakra really opening, upgrading, and connecting at a deeper level, You might even have some of those really powerful aha moment dreams where you wake up with an entirely new outlook on life because your entire perspective had shifted in one night. So July is going to be a very intense month, a lot of moving parts, a lot of doors opening. One of my guides is like, and don't forget to tell them there's going to be some challenges, but that's how they're going to grow. So take that with how that resonates for you. But you're definitely in a positive environment in July. It's just going to be very busy for you in a good way. So August is going to be the Eight of Pentacles, back to Earth energy again. And this one is don't ignore the forest for the trees. Like, you're going to see it all together, but don't get hyper focused on just one thing, which is going to be difficult coming out of July where everything was moving all at once. And this is saying don't get focused. You have a lot of projects that are still going on. You started a great deal of energy when you kicked off the training that ended in June. July was about getting things moving, getting the ball going, multiples at this point. And now in August, it's time to really focus on, hone the skill that's coming forward first. Get that thing ready, but don't give up on the rest of them. And it doesn't matter if it's 1 skill, 2 skills, 50 skills. If you are doing the tradesman thing and you've got that going, don't give up on the family. And if you just started the family, don't forget you have a job. Don't forget to take care of the other things in life. Don't get hyper focused. Stay focused on the important stuff, but remember to keep the balance. That's where I'm hearing that. And that 8 energy that's coming in, and this is not fully the way that card reads if you're reading it by the book. This is that energy of perpetuity. You're moving into something that is going to feed your soul long term, so this is a perpetual thing. You will have 8 on its side is a symbol of infinity and eternity. So this is a long term thing, and you set up a proper pattern, get things organized so you can handle them best, and you're gonna be able to keep this up forever, literally. Like, they're saying this is going to be a very positive thing if you can catch it and get it organized in the moment and prioritize as you need to type of a situation. Your clarifier is the heart of source. This is the concept of the monad, or the source of all light or life, all-encompassing love, unconditional acceptance, and serenity. When you tap into this energy here, everything falls into place. You may not realize it in the moment because you may feel a little overwhelmed because the conscious mind and the ego are like running around like, cats in the middle of a mouse convention. They don't know what they're doing. They can't focus. They can't pick one thing. But that's where these 2 cards coming together are actually really strong. This energy is saying you can handle this. You have all the tools you need. When you tap into the crown chakra and you connect in, it opens this energy to you. If you are a Kabbalist, this is Kether. If you are like Gnostic, this is the divine source. This is beyond the eons. This is the ultimate source of everything. It is the light beyond all shadow. This is the energy that's coming in to support you, to help you sort the things into the proper roles. What is the most important? What is number 2? What is number 3? This is going to help get that organization more stable in August for you. And it's interesting the 8 came up in the 8th month. It just dawned on me. So this is really going to be about something you're setting yourself up long term for. So take the time to really organize your life in this month of August. Earth, you've got so much powerful movement shifting going on here. And now you're activating your chakra energy as well. Like, come on, guys. What month are we on? September is the 5 of Pentacles. Still with Earth. But this is an interesting card because it's a little bit spooky almost. It almost feels like there's a loss. But what I'm hearing is this is a step into the unknown. All of the things that you've done so far this year, by September, you're going to be organized. You're going to have the skills and tools. You've completed stuff. But your future, you don't know where you're going. Even though you've made decisions for long-term goals, those are great. But how are you getting there? You have the end game, bird's eye view, but you're down here. You're walking on the ground because the dragon is basically you. The bird is the one that can see the destination. That's your spirit guides. Those are your connection to God's source. you're feeling a little bit nervous in this month of September because you've done all these things and you haven't had time to breathe. September's where you catch up, where you get that time to breathe, and now you're going, what did I just do? And it's not saying that this in a negative way. It's more like the reality of all of the things that you've just accomplished, the full extent of how far you've come is basically going to come in like a semi-truck in September. And then you take that pause of, what am I doing? Where am I going? Is this really what I was planning on? Yes, it is. And you're going to go the direction that you need to go. That's why you were making those plans and you were kind of setting those goals back in May so that you could see beyond this point. Everyone has these points. So don't think that this is like, oh no, it's negative. It's frustrating. It's what we're getting here because you don't know what's on the other side of the shadows. You don't know what's on the other side of this hazy, misty area here. But that doesn't mean it's bad. It may be just a call to take it slow for a minute because you've had a busy July, August. September is going to tap into this more quiet energy, which is great. Interesting. Your clarifier is the inner earth with the root chakra, strength and security, and laying foundations, which I feel this ties into earth energy, but also ties into this card. It's time for a break. Earth this year has been intense. The last 2 months, July and August, have been off the chain. And the inner earth is calling you to take a breather, to look inside, ground down, because you're making something new. You're setting a new foundation to move forward. Earth, you've done so much work in this year, and it sounds weird, but spiritually, and it could be on a completely spiritual level, you're doing a lot of this, but you've done a great deal of shifting and growth. And in this third quarter, the end of the third quarter, which is where we tap into the energy of Mabon or the autumn equinox, is really about just taking that breath and being like, you know what? We got this. I don't have to worry about, the bills. I don't have to worry about the taxes. I don't have to worry about all that. Why? Because Source is here with me. Source is guiding me through all of this. So Earth, take September to really check in, reconnect with the things that are most important. Your connection to God Source, your connection to your spouse and kids. And if you're single, maybe this is a good time to maybe do some reflection with friends. Just enjoy the finer, quieter things in life in September, because this year has been intense. Always in the good way, but holy cow, there's a lot of moving parts going on for our Earth. Sorry, babbling while I'm shuffling. Gotta pull our last quarter energies real quick. There we go. And we're going to start off the fourth quarter, which is October, November, and December. October is the month of Samhain. We'll get into that in a minute. But your fourth quarter guide and guardian, we're getting into some good healing energy, some very quiet energy, is the goddess Lakshmi. And the stone is dendritic agate or opal. That's this dude right here. And this is a very beautiful and powerful stone. Title of the card is Her Golden Grace. Enlightenment, prosperity, goodness, and grace flow through and around you. It is only through your soul's dance. It is as though your soul dances in soft, golden, honey-like energy, abundant with nourishment and healing properties. Through her gentleness, the goddess offers your soul an irresistible invitation to receive her blessing and emanate the beauty of the divine. There is a gentler way through which you make even greater spiritual progress. You joyfully and peacefully accept this path and allow your heart to let go. Everything that you have done, everything that you've wanted in the last few years is basically coming to a culmination in this year, 2026. This fourth quarter is saying, now it's time to actually just get into the patterns, get into the sets. You've done a lot of the spiritual work, you've done the healing, and now the divine feminine, the goddess energy, is coming in to say, take a breath. You've gotten everything going, everything's moving. We'll see how this plays out individually in the months, but the overall energy I'm getting here is a lot of the stress, tension, the up here aspect of must do it all yesterday is really quieting down which is interesting because between Samhain and Yule is also the time when the world itself quiets down, because the Lord of the Sun has went into the underworld, the goddess is in mourning, and she has retreated to her place, and the world itself goes quiet. And this is the energy that's coming in for this fourth quarter for Earth. So you really are playing the season card here, which is pretty cool. In October, we have the Knight of Earth, loyal, dedicated, honorable, and kind. Time to buckle down and get things done. Honor your commitments, and a guardian angel. This energy coming in October is about staying true to yourself, staying true to the energies and the people and the places and the things that you already have going. You can add one if you need to, but it's really about staying grounded in the moment. The Knight of Earth is a very stable knight. They don't need to fight unless they absolutely have to. They don't need to move. This is really a quieting down of the energy, but it's a quieting down in confidence, knowing that you can handle it if it pops back up, but it doesn't need to be that way all the time. So October is definitely, I'm feeling that October is going to be the relief that you need from the chaos that's been going on. But it's also, knights are honorable. They're wise in certain aspects, and that's where you are. You're just buckling down. You're just doing the things. You're taking care of the organization you've already done. You've got your pattern now. You don't have to add extra things. You're just doing your pattern. And to clarify this, we have star gathering. The stars have aligned, remembering your home and soul family. This is going to, as the veil thins, you're going to notice that the other guides and guardians that you've been working with, maybe on a spiritual subconscious level, they're becoming more conscious to you. This is the gateway of understanding. The knight is not moving quickly. The knight is very studious. The knight is very grounded, and the star gathering is, notice that your round table is coming together. Notice that everything that you've been needing in life is starting to show up. You've already had a lot show up, honestly, Earth, but now you're getting the next tools. You're getting the next connections and knowledge. So you're really, I keep using that word, sorry. It's definitely coming in as your Knights of the Round Table are coming together around you, the Knight of Earth. So October, you'll notice things are going to be a little more stable. The right people are going to pop in at the right time. The information that you need is going to suddenly become accessible, or you're going to catch the attention of something that you needed in that moment. But it's also about sharing and expanding and growth, because where one person can elevate, another person could use a different elevation. So you're definitely getting this energy of sharing and growth in October. Now we're into November. The quiet month is number 18, Roman numerals, the moon. And the moon is tapping back into that water energy. There's been a lot of water. Actually, Earth, you've had a balanced year, honestly. And with water coming in November, it's about stepping into the next level spiritually and intuitively. Still tapping into some of that divine feminine aspect, because that's the aspect of the moon. And with the crab, you're also seeing, you might have a Cancer in your family, zodiac sign, because there's something coming in as a divine feminine aspect that is going to be surprisingly supportive when you didn't expect it. And they're going to be able to tap into your intuition and possibly even wake it up if you haven't had it woken up yet. But there's this energy of peace. There's an energy of intuition. But I'm also sensing the revelation that you were confused about in September is going to be coming through here. You're going to understand why that Five of Pentacles energy in September was necessary. And it wasn't because of, oh, you just didn't learn enough. It was rest, child. There's no reason to run. It is time for a breather. And that's what September it was for you, was taking a break. And in November, you start to realize, oh, that's why I needed that, because that offered me this experience, or this particular event occurred. And in November is when you realize why that all tied together. Your clarifier is the central sun, abundance, downloads, regeneration, and success. So the moon is bringing you in the quiet, the subconscious, And the peace and the central sun, which is the opposite, is bringing in the next level awareness. So you have your subconscious and your conscious mind, water and fire, the union of opposites, coming together to show you the alchemy of transformation that has occurred this year. November is going to be the month of awareness for you, where you awaken to the broader picture of what you've been working on, the broader realization of how much spirit has actually been interacting with you. You might be aware of it already. Not going to say that that's not a case, but in November it's going to be revealed just exactly how broad reaching that really is. And they're also saying this is a time to shine your inner light. Really focus on how strong your inner guidance has been and your inner light, and allowing it to shine to others. You have the moon that's reflecting the sun's energy. You are reflecting the energy of the central sun, the divine source of all creation, and allow yourself that gentle light to be shining out from you. Wrapping up the year in December, which is the month of Yule, the sun's rebirth, we have the Queen of Earth. Back to your energy, Earth. Thoughtful, creative, warm, and sensible. Making time for those around you, take a sensible approach. Deal with challenges in a kind and understanding manner. The Queen of Earth is very much about stepping into her authority. She's earned her position. Earth, you have earned your position. Now it's time to embrace that with that thoughtful, creative, warm, sensible. All of those beautiful divine feminine aspects, but also revealing that the divine feminine works with the divine masculine. And when they come together, nothing is impossible. And so December is about you stepping into that alignment, stepping into that grace period. This third quarter was very much about the feminine energy, which is actually when the goddess is an ascendant, if you look at the older traditions, which I've talked about a few times, because she has to prepare the way for the return of the solar lord that occurs on Yule in some of the older traditions. So you're in a very strong state of your own power. You're in a very strong state of awareness. Your conscious reality is revealing to you, Earth, you already have everything you need. You now are able to work on the things that you want. This year has shown you that you can overcome challenges. Even when people are trying to tell you no, you've been able to prove them wrong, but you've done so with grace, with dignity. Again, you can take the picture and send it to him and be like, haha, graduated. Whatever you need there, but it's definitely not about proving someone wrong. It's about proving it to yourself. And in 2026, Earth, you're stepping into that role in a way that you never thought possible. I told you by May, you wouldn't recognize who you were in January. By December, you will not recognize who you were in May. That's how strong of shifting that's going on here. And it could be all spiritual, it could be spiritual and physical, it could be all physical. But there's a transition that's occurring in your life in 2026. And your clarifier is the Shambhala initiation, retreating to recharge, trusting in the process of Dharma. Earth, the queen knows what she wants. She's already developed it. It's already planned. She's 6 steps ahead of everyone else. And notice she is alchemizing her gold into the reality. Shambhala initiation is saying, you've already done this. It's time to recharge. Get yourself ready to step into the next level, because when the year starts anew, you're going to be ready to take off. You've already done it once. You'll do it again. You're probably going to do it 10 more times, 20 more times before, checking out of this existence. But you're really stepping into this power, Earth, in December, where you're ready for the next entire level by December of 26. If you've achieved everything you've wanted so far, you've even set some new goals, you started down a new path, and in the last quarter, you have allowed yourself the time to recharge, really reconnect with those things that are important to you, and you realize the things that you've let go of, you might mourn them for a second, but you're not going to mourn them forever, because that's not how this year is working for you. It's time to grow. It's time to change. It's time to really have fun with life. And this next year of 2026, Earth, have a blast. It is definitely going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be a lot of ups and downs. It's going to be a busy year is what I'm seeing here for Earth. But it's because you're rebuilding, you're resetting, and you're establishing a new foundation, because by the end of December, you're ready to build a new house on top of that foundation. This year is establishing what you're ready to build next, getting it set up, and then launching from there. Hope you have a great rest of your year. Let me know in the comments down below your thoughts and feelings, and I will see you in the next video.